Hello ladies, welcome back to the Confidence Club. Thank you so much for joining this premium membership. I am so excited for today's lesson. I truly believe that it is going to help you go deeper into yourself and introspect and understand manifestation from your inner experience, which is the whole point of all of this. By being a Confidence Club member, you are investing in yourself in a different way. You are basically telling your subconscious, I'm ready for more. And part of being ready for more and taking the necessary steps to create those opportunities for yourself, those experiences for yourself, is really connecting with your own inner being, your own inner sense of manifestation, and understanding these lessons on that deep level is going to allow you to do so. So I do have a journal entry here to start today's video. And obviously we're talking about feeling it real, or we're talking about what Neville meant in his teachings of feeling is the secret. So I have already covered this on my main channel, but again, being in this club here is all about taking things to the next level. So when I wrote this, I immediately knew this has to be something for my Confidence Club members. This has to be something for people who are actually getting this already and just want that extra boost, or just want that extra level up from where they're at, to really open the pathway, clear the pathway for you going forward in whatever it is you're manifesting. So this is really exciting for me to share with you. So the problem is, you think you're waiting for the feeling to come to you. Like one day you'll wake up and feel rich, or feel healthy, or feel loved, or free, or good enough. But that's all wrong. You decide today, you're deciding in this moment what that day will feel like in your imagination first. And then you practice that feeling over and over again until it becomes natural to you. You're deciding what that version of you will feel like. You're deciding what having that experience will feel like. You're deciding what it will feel like to own that car, to buy that house, to get that new computer, whatever it is you're manifesting. You're then reveling in that feeling. You're marinating in it. You're savoring it for as long as you can hold on to it and still feel good about it. And when the resistance comes up, because it will, you handle it. When fears, doubts, and negative thoughts come up, you either shut them up or you validate them and decide to believe something else. You acknowledge that those thoughts are trying to keep you safe from whatever perceived threats may be out there, and you thank the fear, and then you move on. And I know that this lesson sounds really simple. It sounds like the same thing that we've all been talking about, we've already covered, we've already hashed into this. The key difference I want you to understand is a lot of times we cognitively know this stuff. We've heard it enough times, we're like, oh yeah, I've heard that lesson before. I've heard her say something like that, or I've read that Neville teaching, or heard that lecture, or I heard this coach say that. You may have even heard it from many different sources and absorbed the content itself in many different ways, and you know it up here. But taking that knowing into action, into the doing, into the embodied state, is the day or night difference for you. It's the one determining factor that will really make or break whether your manifestation comes or not. And again, the group of people, the women, you yourself that I'm speaking to, I know that you know this stuff, and that's part of the problem. You know it, so you think that you're already doing it. You know that when he means feeling, he's not talking about the emotion of it. He means like the sensations, the embodiment of it. Like when you get a vivid picture in your head, like that feeling of confidence, that feeling of trust that you have what you desire, or that it's at the very least on its way to you. You know it. Cognitively, in your head, it makes sense to you. You have used logic to understand it, or you've used spirituality to understand it, and so you have a grasp on the concept. The principles of it make sense to you. It's something that you are not arguing the truth of. But the problem is when you get stuck there. And I know this because I've been there many times, and I still have to get myself unstuck from that feeling too. It's not enough to know that you need to be feeling it real. It's not enough to know that you need to be practicing living in the end. It's not enough to know that you need to embody the state. You actually have to then do it, and do it with consistency and at a frequency that is in alignment with a majority of your time. So yes, for example, you can get into a visualization, or you can use a guided meditation, or be on an affirmations rampage, and you're feeling it, and you're feeling like the confidence in your manifestation, and you're like, yeah, I have the money, I have the job, I have the specific person, I have the ideal body. You feel it, and it feels good, and it feels awesome, and you have all this momentum. And then your life continues on. You know, you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to take care of family, or, you know, maintain friendships, you have to work on your health, you have to show up for work, show up for your spouse. Like, all these activities flood in, and you, through those activities, you're not feeling it real. You're not continuing to embody that end state, and that's why you don't have the desire. So that's why we talk about self-concept, and that's why we talk about identity. Because if for 5 minutes a day you feel like this new version of you, but the rest of your waking hours you don't, you're not actually practicing the law. You know it, you understand it, you believe it, but you're not practicing it. And that is the key. That is the one thing that determines whether or not you will have your manifestation. Is, are you actually living this stuff? Or are you picking it up, right? Like, I'm picking up the pen, I'm holding the pen, I am in a state of holding the pen, but as soon as I put the pen down, I'm no longer holding the pen. I'm no longer in that state. It's the concept of, you have to continue in that feeling state, and it's not an emotional state. It's a cognitive knowing plus the embodied feeling. And what you're missing right now, if you're watching this video, is that embodied feeling. And it's so easy to fall out of that embodied feeling because our bodies are here in the present moment. And the 3D world, the circumstances, the input we're receiving with our eyes, our nose, our taste buds, our ears, the temperature on our skin, all of the signals going through our body, it's very convincing of the now moment, the present moment. And it's supposed to be. There is mastery in being able to sit in the present. However, if the present moment is creating and generating a feeling state, again, not necessarily an emotional state, but a feeling state of dissatisfaction, a feeling state of, I don't want to experience this anymore, I don't want to be here anymore in the present moment, it is because you are not embodying the state, the feeling, the full body experience where your cognitive knowing is matching your inner experience, your embodied experience. You're not practicing the state of where you want to be. You are acknowledging and focusing all of your attention and awareness on the state that already is. So, like, if you are walking to a certain destination If you only walk in the same direction and you never turn left and you never turn right and you never turn backwards, right? If you're only walking straight, and let's say obstacles just move out of your path, you're only walking straight, you won't reach your destination unless your destination is straight in front of you. So if your destination is 5 miles to the left of you, but you're walking straight, you will never make it to that destination. And so a lot of you're walking straight forward. You are doing the things that you've always done. You're thinking the thoughts that you've always thought. You are feeling the feelings you've always felt. You are responding to circumstances the way you've always responded to them. You are doing the same habits, right? You are fixing yourself up in the morning the same exact way. You are wearing the same clothing. You are talking to the same people. You are taking the same drive to work. You eat relatively the same breakfast foods. You bring the same thing for lunch. You have the same thing for dinner. Over and over and over again in these cycles. Your day-to-day habits take up so much of your energy of creation. And because those habits are not changing, because how you feel towards those habits are not changing, how you feel towards yourself and your behaviors is not changing, nothing can change. And until you understand that you're not waiting to feel different, you're not going to walk on the same path and wait for the winds of change, some object to move you left, if you already know from the start that you need to go left to get to your destination. And that waiting that you're in, that feeling of like, oh, I'm waiting to feel rich. I'm waiting to feel confident. I'm waiting for the manifestation to come in. Like, I'm waiting to feel like a different person. You'll be waiting forever, because what you're manifesting is waiting. You're manifesting being in a state of waiting. Oh, I'm waiting for the money to come in. I'm waiting for the man to show up in my life. I'm waiting for the scale to go down. I'm waiting for the doctor to tell me everything's okay. I'm waiting for XYZ opportunity to happen. I'm waiting for it. Versus practicing. And it's practicing because in the beginning it doesn't feel natural. In the beginning, if you are in poverty and you've lived in poverty your whole life and you've struggled with money your whole life and your parents had poor money habits and you look around to your family and all your whole family has poor money habits, and you start to attract friends who also came from families with poor money habits and they themselves have poor money habits. And then one day you're like, you know what? I don't want to be poor anymore. I want to be rich. I want to be so abundant. I want the money to just flow in. I want it to be so easy. But then you're not practicing what that looks like for you. You're not practicing. You're just waiting for the money to come in to feel that way. It's never going to manifest. It can't. Because your awareness, your focused attention, where your thoughts are, where your feelings are, how you navigate your emotions, the choices you make, the micro decisions you make, the unconscious decisions you make, like the way that you drive to work, the products that you use to clean your home with. Most of us are just doing the same things our parents did. We're doing the same things that we always did. Or maybe like 10 years ago we decided, maybe 10 years ago I decided I like this certain type of pen and now it's the only pen I use. But what if unconsciously I actually I don't even like the pen. The ink it's not as full of a color, it smudges, I get ink blots all over my page, the pen isn't comfortable to hold, but I've used it for 10 years, so I'm used to it. Like, it's all these micro changes that we overlook because we're not conscious enough, we're not awake enough, we're not aware enough of all the decisions we're making throughout our lives. And oftentimes this is because we're refusing to feel what we feel in the moment and we're trying to escape. And feeling it real, feeling is the secret, is it's not about escaping where you are now. It's about looking at where you are now and going like, this has been great. This has been so wonderful up until now. This has helped me to be who I am today. You know, all the resources, the opportunities, the people around me, you know, the products, right? The pens, the products that we use, the smartphone that you're using or device you're using. It's all served you. It's all been good to you. All of it, even if it's contrast, even if it's the bad stuff, and you feel like, oh, I really don't want to experience that again. Well, that teaches you what you do want to experience. So it's all been good. The point is, feeling it real, embodying the new state of you is going, this, awesome, loved it. What's next? How much better could it get? If this was already so good, how much better could it get? And you only have to answer, what would better feel like? What would better feel like? What would a better physical health feel like? Right? Because I can speak from experience. When I was struggling with my physical health, I would get out of breath so easily. I would bend over to tie my shoes and I would be out of breath. And mind you, like, excuse me, I was in my early 20s. I should not have been that out of shape, but I wasn't caring for my body. So of course I manifested that. And I had to imagine, what would it feel like to not have my like tummy fat in the way while I'm tying my shoes? What would it feel like to go up the stairs, go up a couple flights of stairs and not be like like huffing and puffing, right? What would it feel like to be able to walk into pretty much any store, any clothing store, and find something off the rack that fits my body, that looks good, that I feel confident in? Because that was not an experience I had available to me in that state of being. And so to feel it real, what I did was take the actions that got me closest to that feeling. So I did a walking challenge. And after 30 days of walking for 1 hour every morning, I wasn't out of breath going up a couple flights of stairs anymore. And that's just what was right for me. I'm not saying you have to do that. I listened to my inner being, and my inner being said, do that. That sounds good. That sounds like it'll make you feel better. That sounds like it'll be a solution. And it was for a time being. And obviously, like, I couldn't go into any clothing store and buy whatever, but the clothing stores I had available to me, I did go shop there, and I started to put more intention and effort into my outfits. I started to wear clothing that did look good on my body. And as I lost weight, it got easier to do that. But the point is, I took actions that felt right, that I felt called to take, that emulated that feeling, surrounded me with that feeling as best as I could feel it. And when I didn't have access to those things, I went into my mind, into my inner world, my inner experience, and I said, if I close my eyes and I pretend, I imagine that I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and my figure is exactly what I'm hoping to look like when I hit my goal weight, how does that feel? How does that feel in my body right now? What does my skin feel like? Do I have any sensations in my head as these feelings are coming up? How do I think about myself when I look in the mirror? Like, that's what I did, and I practiced it, and I practiced and practiced. And let's say you're manifesting a specific person, right? Obviously, it's easier to do self-changes, but manifesting a person outside of you is very much the same practice. Except what you're going to do is you're going to take yourself on dates. You're going to take yourself out and treat yourself to food and good experiences and have a good time with yourself. And again, it's that sense of gratitude of like, I'm already having so much fun on this self date. How much better will it be when my husband is with me? Like, that's how you feel it. That's how you embody that feeling, is you just ask yourself, how would it feel to have this thing? And you let your body answer. You give your body the time and space and patience and quiet that it needs to answer, because it will answer. And the more often you ask, how will it feel to be rich? The easier it gets for your automatic response. Your subconscious will just throw stuff out there. It'll say, oh, it feels so good. I feel so confident. I feel so safe. I feel so taken care of. I feel so worthy. I feel so lovable. I feel so free. I feel so capable. I feel amazing. It'll come up with those answers on its own. You don't have to try to find the how will it feel. It'll emerge from you. But it won't come out of you if you're not slowing down to ask. And it won't manifest from you if you're not asking often enough. So whether you do a morning routine, an evening routine, whether you have your affirmations on an alarm, however you need to fit it into your schedule, however you need to direct your focus throughout the day, because it's from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, you are manifesting this reality right now. So if you want a new reality, you have to practice the state, the feeling. So the more you get yourself to ask, how will it feel to be this way? And then do it, and then feel it on command, to feel good about yourself on command, to feel confident on command, to have faith on command, which is really, that's what self-discipline is. That's what it's all about, is being able to generate these feelings, not just the emotions, controlling your emotions, regulating your emotions. That's a skill in itself. That's part of self-discipline, but I mean embodying this feeling state. Embodying the state of, I have it now, I have it already, I am this person that I say I am. It becomes so natural. It becomes so easy. It's like, oh, I want to feel confident? Bam. This is what confident me feels like. I want to feel rich? There it is. There's rich me. If I want to feel loved, like bam, bam, bam. Anything that you're asking for, any experience that you want, anything you desire, it's like you're looking at the menu and you go, I want that. And instantly it's in front of you, ready for you to experience. So I intend that the way that we broke this down today is, it's not just something that you understand up here. It's something that you are able to embody and experience and live it, practice it, do it. Bring those feelings into your outer world from your inner world on a daily basis, consistently over time. Persistence is consistency over time. That's it. Is showing up every day and deciding that. And I know that if you're the type of person who is in this membership, watching this type of video, that you get it. You get it. Now your homework is just to do it and to keep doing it until it manifests. Thank you for being in the Confidence Club, and thank you for sharing your experiences with me and growing and evolving with me. I'm really proud of every single one of you who has chosen to take that next step in their manifestation journey and become the best version of themselves, because that's what this is all about. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.